Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. Thanks for tuning in. We're out in the bush today. It's a beautiful day out, as you can see here. It's finally starting to warm up, even though it was like close to summer a couple weeks ago. Everybody knows how this year is going. As I mentioned before, that we have a disease affecting our beech trees around here, and that kills them off. Once they get infected, it's about 2 years and they're done. And I've been keeping my eye on this one big beech tree that has to come down. It has a nice straight trunk on it. It's unfortunate it's dead, but that's the way it goes with forest life. This is the tree right here that has to come down. It's got lots going on at the top there and a nice straight trunk. In order to cut that tree down, I need to clear an area so it can land without wrecking a lot of the other trees around here. As you can see, it's that big tree there, and it's going to fall this way. So all these trees here are going to get hit or damaged. Now, fortunately, a lot of these trees aren't high value. You can see this one here. This is an ironwood tree. And there's another one there, and there, and there, and there. Ironwood trees are good for making your chainsaw blade dull, but they're also good for the fireplace once they dry out. So we're going to get those guys cleared out. And another one over here that we're going to clear out is this tree right here. And that's a cherry tree, and it's not very big. I'm probably not going to try to get any lumber out of it, but it'll make good firewood anyway. So in taking down that big beech tree and all these other smaller undesirable trees, I'm going to end up with a big space here. And we've got a bunch of trees ordered. We ordered them from the local stewardship council, and those trees are all native trees to the area. So we don't want to bring any non-native trees, or some people could call them invasive species, into this area. When this forest was logged about 30 or 40 years ago, they took out all the white pine and the birch and didn't put any of it back. So till last year when we planted some white pine, there's no white pine on here. So that's one of the things we have coming. So we're going to put some white pine here, and it should do well. And I guess one of the main things that got me going on this was our taxes. Our taxes, for some reason, are kind of high here. And what we've done is we've entered into an agreement with the province, and it's called the Managed Forest Tax Incentive Plan. What's involved is you sit down with a forester, a professional forester, and come up with a plan for your forest. And the plan can't be for clear cutting, but what they try to do is make it so you're benefiting the area by improving your forest. And by improving our forest, we improve wildlife. And the real benefit is that we'll end up getting a break on our taxes. All the land that's under the program, you pay about 25% of the taxes that you normally would. So it's a pretty good deal and good incentive. I don't think the townships like you doing it because it takes money straight out of their pocket. But they can't say no. So we're going to get the chainsaw going. We'll drop some of these smaller trees, and then we'll bring the tractor up here and get them cleaned up before we drop the big one. I don't want to drop all the trees at once because it's like fighting with a couple octopuses. You just got branches going everywhere. You can't figure anything out. So let's drop her and do it smart and safe. Well, that one got a little hung up. It's not a big deal. We'll go get the tractor and we'll just give her a little nudge with the tractor, and that'll bring her down. We'll get the big saw too, and then we can cut these stumps off so they're not in our way. And we'll bring the wood chipper up here too to deal with all the branches and everything like that. Well, that's going to be a nice bit of firewood right there. Now, some people may ask, why am I chipping and just blowing it into the bush? Because it's going to help with the weeds. I'm going to plant a whole bunch of little trees in here, and to help keep the weeds down, I'm going to take some maple trees out over there to make sure lots of sun gets down here, to give all the little guys, usually they come around somewhere around there, give them a good start. Once the forest gets its canopy up, it's barely any sunlight at all gets down to the floor here. So we'll open it up and give the little trees a fighting chance to get started. I still have that cherry tree and a few more ironwood trees here. And you can see over here there was a beech tree that dropped. I don't know how much, if there's any good firewood on there, but we'll get rid of it anyway. And then eventually we'll get to the main reason we're here, which is that big beech tree right there. And these are some of the maples that we'll take out here to get more sunlight down in this area. So I think that's all we're going to do today. The tractor's almost out of diesel fuel, so I got to go get some fuel for that. And we'll get back at her tomorrow, and I think Mrs. Homesteader is going to give us a hand tomorrow. Well, that was unexpected. Well, sometimes trees get hung up top and you just have to work with it. This tree was rotted out at the bottom. I should have planned for that, but you can see I had an escape plan and it got out of the way pretty quick when I saw it was moving with the way I didn't want it to. So we'll get her down with the tractor. Everybody, welcome back. Yesterday our battery died, so we didn't get to film the finish out of the day, but you can see we ended up with lots of wood chips, and that'll be used to help protect all the new little trees that we're going to plant in this area. That's the big guy right there that we're going to be taking down, and you can see at the top of it there's a lot of branches up there, and I really don't want them to hit this tree here. That's a big sugar maple, and we need to protect it. So of course we're going to put a rope on, and we're going to run a rope from up there over to here, and then from there over to the tractor. And what we're going to do is we're not going to pull a tree down, but we're going to put a lot of pressure on it so it wants to come this way. The other issue we have is, I'm not sure if you can see it, but just on the other side of those trees there's hydro lines. And we're on those hydro lines and one other fellow on this dead end road. And I don't think he wants to be an involuntary off-gridder. So we got to make sure we protect those lines. But to do that, we'll just drop it in the forest here. That's a pretty big chunk of tree there. And we're going to get lots of wood out of it, and hopefully we get some nice saw logs out of it too. So the first thing we got to do today is I'm going to put the ladder up. I'm going to tie a rope up a little ways up to help with the advantage that we're going to get with using the rope in the tractor. So we'll get this rope down to the next tree where we're going to put the snatch block and then run her over to the tractor. Go around a couple times. The tree. So put the snatch block on there like that. There we go. So you're using these shackles, you never tighten them up. You just get them all the way and then just back them off a little bit. Because if they become under extreme stress, you'll never get that pin out again. So you just kind of leave it loose like that. And if you're on if it's in a mobile application or something like that, you can leave it loose. But you just run a wire around there just to make sure that thing, your pin doesn't spin. So with this rope, I've been using bow lines. The reason I mention it is I put this rope under a lot of tension, and if you don't use the right knot, it'll tighten up. You'll never get her undone. For this time, I'm going to be using a bow line on a bite. This is a bite. Okay, I think we're all set up. We got the rope tied to the tree and onto the tractor. I got lots of tension on it. I've taken the small chainsaw and I've cleared an escape path for myself because once this starts going, I'm getting the hell out of here. So I think we're ready to go. that didn't go too bad. What a big bang. Yeah, I counted the rings up, there's 95. That means this tree hatched in 1929. That's a long time ago. But a lot happened since then. It's too bad I had to go down this way. But we'll make some good use of it. Now to get to the cleanup. So that about does it for the cleanup. I got it all piled there. Like I said, we'll come back with the chipper and take care of that. And then all this stuff down here, some of it's firewood, and like I said before, hopefully we get a saw log down at the end there. I think it's pretty good. I did notice after I cut it off that I'd say about maybe a quarter of the log was punky on the bottom. Hopefully that doesn't continue up very far. So we're gonna wrap it up for today. This is day 3, and then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll get all these logs out of here. All we have left here to do now is hopefully get the big saw log out of here and a couple other big pieces of firewood. So we're going to take care of that. Mrs. Homesteader is working on the log splitter right now. And hopefully I can get these guys out of here. That should about do it for that. We'll go back and get that saw log tomorrow and get her onto the sawmill and hopefully get some good wood out of her. Hey folks, it's the next day and I just came back to make a plan for this saw log. Unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna turn out to be a saw log at all. I'll show you the stump here, and you can see in the stump that there's holes, I'm assuming from ants or whatever. And all this area out here, you can just see it's punky. You know, there's some good wood in there, but I can't saw that out. So that's the bottom of what I was hoping would be the saw log. And if we go to the other end, You can see we got the same thing going on here. There's a bit of punk in there, up here, here. So I don't think it's going to turn out, unfortunately. We can still use it for firewood. When we get those pieces of wood onto the splitter, the punky stuff just kind of breaks off. So it wasn't a lost cause completely. We got a big area cleared out here for the new trees that we're going to plant in a few weeks. And we're really looking forward to that. It's exciting to plant trees. It takes a long time to see your results, but the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. The next best time is right now. So we're going to go with that one. So thanks for watching, and I really appreciate you guys leaving comments and stuff at the bottom. It really helps YouTube get my channel out there. So like and subscribe if you can, and we'll see you next time on the homestead. Thanks a lot.